thinking about the levy then, Penny, you know, we know and we keep hearing in the news that there's so many millions and billions of pounds of unspent levy, and all these levy providers who paid all the, I know at Centrica, my levy was £7 million a year. It was crazy. We just weren't spending it. So what's your thoughts on the levy and this unspent money with levy payers at the moment?
I think it's difficult if you're a levy payer. I think you've got a huge challenge because that's a lot of money to spend every year if you're not doing massive recruitment or you've not got a poor retention rate on staff. I think that's a real commitment to spend it. One of the ways to look at the levy is, yes, if you don't spend it, you lose it. I'm hearing that a lot. If I don't spend it, I lose it. Well, actually, if you spend it and you don't spend it wisely, you're losing time and money elsewhere. So from a levy perspective, it's to understand where you're going as a business, what you want to achieve over the 5 years, and use it as a fund to support your progression and development as a business over a 5-year, 10-year, whatever plan that may be. And really set that out. And I think you might find if you do that, and my experience over the last 7 years working with employers and more recent last 4 years with the levy, is that those companies that do that find very quickly in year 2 they're spending all their levy every year and dropping into what we call co-investment very quickly because they've planned it and aligned it for business growth.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And I think sometimes L&D and HR see the levy or see apprenticeships as something different to L&D, talent, HR strategies, whereas when I think it's really successful, it's when it's embedded in and actually saves your L&D budget. And as an independent, I had an NHS client quite recently, and I was talking to them. I did an apprenticeship review, and they just spent 80 grand with a provider on a leadership and management course, which ran for about 12 weeks, didn't have a lot in it in regards to embedding new skills, knowledge and behaviours. And my first question was, why didn't you use the levy? I'm like, why? You know, and they're, oh no, because there isn't a matching standard. It's leadership. It's not hairdressing or it's not portering. No, let me tell you about apprenticeships and what they can do now. So I think there's an awareness piece still as well. What do you think?
Definitely. And I think, oh, absolutely. And I still see lots of employers spending lots and lots of money on training out there. That they don't need to, and because people are looking at the standards like they used to look at old frameworks and your standard qualification, that's a qualification, that's what we've got to do. Absolutely not. Do you know the only criteria on the majority of apprenticeships is they're at gateway before they go into endpoint assessment, that they're ready for it. That's it. You know, for many of them, there's no mandatory qualification on it. What you've got to do is make sure that those learners have got all the work ready to enter gateway, and that they know all the knowledge, the skills and behaviours for Gateway. How you get them there and what you put in your programme is absolutely that employer's choice. The art of the training provider's skill set is that they know how to say to an employer, tell me what you want, let's build it, right, let's map in a few gaps to the nearest standard, and knowing what the nearest standard is. And creating that. That way you've got that bespoke apprenticeship for you as an employer that you can call your own and you can brand it your own. And you can call it anything you like. You know, the Aspiring Manager program was perfect for that other employer. I now have other employers and I've explained it to them and say, oh, can I have that? I say, I might have to call it something different because I kind of did that for that. And let's call it, you know, let's put a brand on it for you. But it is about your own programs, and don't take off my personal view from my heart is don't take it off the shelf. That doesn't help you as a business. You know, if you've got providers at the moment, what key questions are they asking about what you want from it at the end of it? How is it going to help you build as a business? Because otherwise you're just going through the motions.